In the summer of 1942, the order said, all Jews must come to the railroad station on this date at this hour. And we knew that we must, but my father, having been exposed to Mr. Arnold's thinking, knew that he was smelling a rat. He knew that this was what they like to call the big lie. My father said, we're not listening to those lies. They told us they're going to take us to the East, where everything would be better. Better homes, better schools, better health care, better jobs. Everything in the East would be better. My father, although not educated in a great degree, he was not a stupid man. And he knew his geography. He had been to the east of Poland. And he said, there's nothing there. It's a wilderness like here. What are they talking about? They're lying to us. Why are they lying to us? I don't know, but I don't trust them. And he said, we're not going to go. And my grandfather, his father, said, are you crazy? You don't trust the German people? Don't you realize that these people are the most civilized, the most educated, the most cultured, the best informed, the highest achievers? What's wrong with you, my son? And my father said, I don't trust them because Mr. Arnold didn't trust them. And my grandfather said, what did he know? I remember them as victors in World War I. Did they hurt us? Not a bit. They were victorious. They took over the land. They became the people who called the shots and told us what to do and what not to do. But did they hurt anyone? No. Therefore, I trust them. And you are wrong, my grandfather said. My grandfather went to the railroad station. We never saw him. He was the first victim murdered in our family by the Germans. We, on the other hand, the night before that date, ran away from him. And one night we were walked by Mr. Gracholski to his home. And when we got there was a ladder, and he indicated that we should take the ladder up to the attic. And when we got to the attic, an area maybe like these seats, filled with hay all around. That was our furniture. And in the middle buckets, that was our toilet. He locked us up in there, and every night he brought the ladder back, never left it because his children were little like we were. And they would talk about having seen feet through the cracks in their attic. So the attic is moved back and forth. Every night we hear the attic. The ladder moved to the attic back door, and he comes up, cleans the toilets, brings us a pot of boiled beans and potatoes, and locks us up again. And for 2 years, that's how I lived. Would you have known it? I'm gone. And that tells us something about what we're made of. We're made of good stuff. Yes, we break when the conditions are breakable, but we come back to life. And we came back to life in 1944 when the Russians took Poland away from the Germans. And we were, as Mr. Gracholski said, you're free. You've been liberated. The Russians are here. And that night he had us, he said to us, you can go, but we couldn't, because for 2 years we sat on our legs. And they atrophied, they wouldn't move. So we tumbled down, and when we were down in his little yard, he said to us, you may never tell a soul where you were. This is our secret, not to be told to anyone only come when invited because I'm told some people that want to be. And by behaving the way you do, I know you respect the seriousness of this information. At any rate, we are down in his yard. We're sworn to secrecy. We won't tell he's afraid of his neighbors, who will say, that Jew lover, Stanislav Grochowski, kill him, get him, punish him. And most of all, he was afraid about the safety of his children. So he gave us instructions. He said, that dirt road over there is where the Russians are marching in. Crawl over there, it's not far, you'll get there. And they will help you. He was right. We crawled over there, it was dark, they didn't see us. But when the sun rose, we couldn't bear it because we came from darkness. So there we were, a group of motley creatures like this. And the young soldiers were quite shocked because young people had no such experience. So they ran for their officer who was a doctor. And the doctor said, okay, you are starved. You will recover, but you must listen to me. Eat only a little tiny bit at a time. And the next few hours, another tiny bit. And keep eating a tiny bit until the stomach informs you it will that you can handle a little bit. And you will be all right. You will walk and you will talk as we could. No sound came out of our voice boxes. And you will be fine, but you must listen. We listened. We tried to readjust to life in our home, but discovered that nobody else came back.
How did you find the strength to continue for years?
I have no idea where that comes from. Could it be that we're born that way? I don't know. But I never thought I would die. I expected to live. I think maybe because I was such a child that I didn't understand the difference. But I expected to live, and now I'm not a frightened person. I mean, I know fear intimately. I know it well. But when something is happening that frightens me, I sort of hold my breath and say, let's see where this leads to. And I don't give up. I'm in there the next day and the next day until I win.